Facebook family, it's me, Maisha T. I wanted to give a quick tip on how to synergize your morning. But before I get started, let me give you a little inspiration behind this. I'm sitting here preparing to go meet with a friend and just kind of talk about some goals and some execution ideas we have for our business. But today I was noticing like, oh my God, I have a little bit of energy. Like I never have this much energy. So I asked myself, what have I been doing differently within the last week where I have like this increase in energy? And here's the secret. Here's my tip. I have what I call a synergy routine. It starts with a synergy in 7 list, and then I also have a synergy in morning. But what exactly is synergy? Synergy is the idea that your life and your business are not separate entities. They're one and the same, right? So whether you're a creative entrepreneur, a therapist, a coach, and consultant, and you see yourself as being separate, in fact, it's all one and the same. So for me, being spectrumy and dealing with my kids, I used to think that like everything was separate. Like even I was talking with another coach who I work with very closely, and she was like, Maisha, you're separating. When I think of things, I tend to compartmentalize. I'm not sure if you do this too. I compartmentalize things as separate. But in fact, it's all one thing, right? So there's the synergy where it's my life and my business working together, right? But then energy, right? It keeps my life in motion, right? So I have synergy and I have energy. So my life and business are not separate. The many facets of who I am, the many facets of my business are not separate from me. They're one and the same. And so what I did differently for my morning is I have a synergy ritual. So I literally spend 45 minutes focused on self-care and really creating some form of balance in my morning before I start my day. And so what happens is my alarm goes off. I put my feet on the floor. I ground myself and I give gratitude. And for example, I just put my foot on the floor, put my hands on my knees and I just said, thank you for this day. And then I immediately start doing different Reiki, positions to kind of center myself, and then I do a little bit of yoga stretching. So that's just me being grateful when I start my day and grounding myself so that my day can kind of go with a flow. You know, there'll be ups and downs, but when those ups and downs come, I won't be as reactive. I'll kind of be in flow, in sync with my energy. So after I do that, then I kind of go get in the shower, just kind of take care of myself and just nurture myself, give myself some positive self-talk to kind of manage it through my day. And I've been doing this, you guys, for like successfully a week, right? Because I'm building this synergized morning into my everyday life. And it's really changed my perspective around how I want my morning to kind of take off and how my morning sets the tone for the rest of my day. So my top tip to synergize your morning is actually to create a routine. And start with one thing. Maybe for you, it's not the whole like putting your feet on the floor, grounding, Reiki. Maybe it's just you waking up and next to your bed, there's a gratitude journal and you write one thing you're grateful for. Whatever it is, like I want to challenge everyone this week to not pick up our phones when we wake up in the morning. And it might be a hard habit to break because I used to just pick it up and scroll. But the last 30 days, I've been tracking with an app that I'll review on another day. I've been tracking how much time I spend on my phone and how much time I spend on Facebook. And when I first started, I was spending 12 hours, 12 hours on my phone. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, guess where I was? I was on Facebook. And so that's why I had to create a synergy routine in the morning, because I needed to make sure that I'm grounded and not immediately going to the screen, because science has shown that the screen, it just does something to our neurons, and I'm not a scientist yet. But anyway, so yeah, that's just my tip. Create you a morning ritual. Pick one thing you can do in the morning to kind of start your day off that's not social media. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys have an incredible morning, and I will see you later. Bye.